And the moment he opens the door is when I think I knew. Okay, hi everyone. Just fair warning, my dog is being a bit of a psycho right now, but I've just come to learn that I can't really fight him. He's a puppy. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. We're gonna tell this story anyway. You've seen the title. Let's begin. I should say, in honor of Natalia Taylor, who inspired this channel to start, I have a cup of tea. It actually has tea in it, because I'm not gonna wave it. Maybe I will. And I just freaking love tea, so tea. This story takes place in January of 2014. Back then, I didn't have a good agent, nor was I really experienced, so I was self-submitting for a lot of films. For those of you who have just joined, hi, I'm an actor. This is the story I like to call The Hamster Man. So like I said, I was self-submitting a lot during this time. I would just email people my headshot, my resume, which was just like a picture I took. Although I did actually have, I think I had an actual headshot done by my favorite photographer at this point, who I still work with all the time, Nicole Mitchum, what's up? I self-submitted for this project that I saw online. It was supposed to be this like high school superhero thing, and I got a reply, and the guy was like, oh, I'd love you to, this was the director and writer, and like, you know, this is like, I'm not getting paid for this. At this point, I was doing pretty much all the films I did were no pay, like tiny, not well-made things. He was like, oh, I'd love you to read for the part of Megan. She's this really quirky, like funny girl. And so I was really excited. He also told me that he saw one of my YouTube videos that I had posted.
Tell me you like it. I can't blink. No, that's worse.
It was really cool too, so I was super excited, and I said, yeah, I wanted to read for it. He let me know that it was going to be no pay, but that he would cover my gas. And he told me that when I read for the part to think of it as like, you know, one of those annoying Disney Channel actresses. Yeah. Funny enough, so I taped it with my mom in my bedroom. I had a blue wall much like this because I've had a blue wall pretty much since like I was 8. I'm 25 now. What's kind of crazy is I still have the audition clip on my computer. Hi, I'm Rebecca Donovan, and I'll be reading for the part of Megan. It's the same thing, okay? Anyways, why are we doing this and not the police?
It's a favor for Sergeant Carter. Low key, you know.
Oh, I get it. Spy stuff. Anyway, these are the addresses. If I'm so stupid, then why are your eggs burning?
Oh, crap.
So, as you can tell from that, if you've seen any of my recent projects, you know that my acting has come a long way. I am not naturally talented. I've had to study. After my video audition, he emailed me back and he told me that I got the part, which of course I was really excited. It was going to be this like superhero high school like little film, which like who doesn't want to do that? And I actually remember from there, he sent me a bunch of emails, like just giving like information, like he actually had to recast one of the lead roles, and then he told me, like, he would say stuff like, oh, you're gonna like this girl, she's a much better actress, much more professional, despite the fact that this is not a professional set and no one's getting paid. He also sent me an email where he was talking about he had 10 copies of his comic book, which is like what this thing was supposed to be based off of, and he wanted me to take them and like pass them out to all my friends. Then he just started talking about like costumes and like a table read, which if you don't know what a table read, I'm going to insert a picture here on what a table read is supposed to look like. Just keep that in mind for the rest of the story. At this time, I was still driving with my mom everywhere because I think I was only 18 or 17, 18, or 19. And of course, wanted to be safe because we're always driving into like these weird situations which you don't actually know what you're getting into. So it was just, I'm really grateful that my mom was able to go with me to a lot of these things. So we get the address for the table read and we drive like 4.5 hours over to this place, and we drive up and it's a house, which is a little weird because especially when you're a young girl and you're showing up to a house of a random guy that you haven't met in person yet, you've just like booked this role online. You know, sometimes no budget things. So we went up and we knock on the door and he answers, and the moment he opens the door is when I think I knew. His house is covered in hamster tubes. Hamster tubes. Like, you know those little tubes that you can like buy for your hamster and you can like build an amazing house and like do this whole little... That's what he had. Every door in his house was open because every room in his house was connected by these hamster tubes. But I never saw a single hamster. So we walk in and we see the other girl who was supposed to be playing like another part. I can't remember what. She was supposed to play one of the superhero characters, I think. And her mom is there because she's like 13, 14 or something, maybe 12. I don't know. And so we go and we sit down and he hands us copies of the script. And I'm looking at my mom, and even she's kind of like, this is weird. And we look at the other mom, and she looks like she just wants out of there. So we sit down, and he starts to tell us how he's not going to call us by our real names anymore. He's going to call us only our character names, which was a little weird. So I was like, okay. And he was like, from here on out, I want you to try to always be in character. And I was like, okay. So he's like, let's practice some scenes. So we read it or blah, 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 whatever. And then he was like, oh, my last project, I did this, this, and this. Oh, do you guys want to watch it? And we were like, sure. So we sit down, and for the next 45 minutes, we watched this other thing he made, in which we were all flabbergasted because it was basically, his film was like, he'd be holding a camera, like you could tell it was handheld, and there'd be two girls like standing on a street, like both facing the camera, and they'd be like, hey Cindy, what's up? Va 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 va. Va va va, like that. But I doing va 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 because I don't even know what they were saying for most of it because the wind was blowing into the camera mic and they didn't have any professional audio, so you couldn't hear anything, and they were both just standing there. And then like the next scene, they were in a garage with like a sheet up, and it was supposed to be a ballet studio, but he, I guess, couldn't get a ballet studio, so he just used a garage and tried to make it look like this professional ballet studio. It was very weird, and all of it was not good. And the whole time he kept like smiling while watching and like talking about how great it was. And then this guy comes on camera and he's like, oh, I hate that guy. I will never work with him, and I tell everyone in the industry not to work with him because he is not a professional. And he starts to tell us about how the guy complained about something in the script or whatever. From here on out, he's making sure that he's blacklisted and no one will ever work with him again. Yeah, so we're all just like smiling and nodding and like dying. And then we finally finish that, and he goes, oh, to the little girl who was there, he's like, I have your costume, let me have you try it on. So he pulls it out, and it's this spandex onesie where he took Sharpie and like drew on it to make it look like a superhero costume with like the letter on the front, but it was like so obviously bad Sharpie and just this onesie. And he's like, go try it on. So of course this girl, you know, she just wants to be an actress, and she's like, okay. And so she goes into the bathroom and she tries it on, and she comes out, and she's a little kid, right? Little kid. And he looks at her and he goes, you know, you are gonna have to lose weight for this role. And I'm just at this point, me and my mom were both thinking the same thing on how do we get out of here as soon as possible. You know, after he said that, I kind of blacked out. I'm not really sure what happened after that, but at some point we got out of there. And I remember talking to my mom in the car and just being amazed at what we had experienced. And I ended up emailing him afterwards because I had like used an excuse or something like that about like not being able to do the 4.5 hours or whatever. And then he was like, oh, I'll cover your gas. And then I said, like, basically, I'm not going to be part of this. And his last email to me was, okay, good luck. So that's my little story. I have some that are worse, some that are just unique. If you are interested in any of those, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to stick around for a little bit. I plan to do more horrendous stories as well as more reactions to my acting, as well as just other ideas that I have in mind for this channel. Anyway, so I hope you have a wonderful day, and I don't know why I said that 3 times, and I hope you have a great time. Bye. Okay, bye now. Bye.